Hi, this video is made for Methods in Language and Social Research course, and we're going to talk about the elements of a research paper. The agenda of our video today is the elements of a research paper, elements of a research proposal, and some information about referencing styles. A research paper usually consists of these four main elements: introduction, consisting of the issues, previous research and research gap, as well as research questions. We discuss the issue, we discuss the phenomenon, but also most importantly we inform our readers that we could identify the gap in the previous research. We know that other people have already done investigations on the issue, but we identify the needs to further the discussion. We also probably spot that an angle has not been responded enough or investigated enough, or we could say that despite the issue has been discussed in the Western countries' perspective, from the Eastern values have not been presented. So therefore I am planning to provide some knowledge on that. We close out the introduction by presenting the research questions, and by this we inform the readers that in order to fill in the gaps, these questions need to be answered. The method section consists of clear and factual information on data collection, the ways we did the data collection, and the ways we did to analyze this data. So usually people write the method section in past tense. Findings is mainly a report of what we have gained in the data collection and data analysis. We present the results and interpret that results. We say that this is found in our data collection or in our review, interview, and we interpret the results. We say that these data are important because, and then we continue our discussion with our arguments. We need also to say whether these findings, the results, are in line or not in line with the previous research. If it is not in line, we could say that this is something that is necessarily significant in this discussion of the issue because this has not been reported before. We close our paper by writing a short conclusion and providing implications for further research, identifying that we have contributed to the discussion of the issue, we have successfully answered all the research questions, and if other people want to continue the research, we have laid out the pathway, the how, and the areas of developments. So in this way we underline our success and we present our contribution to the furtherance of the study. Proportionally, we can say that finding section will take up the biggest space, whereas conclusion the least of the shortest place in our paper. Here is an example of a research paper, and this is taken from the guideline for the final paper in our department. It consists of chapter 1, introduction, and we can see here that the previous studies or identification of the gap is included in the theoretical background. So in some paper templates you also need to write down the concepts and theories and not only the previous research. Chapter 3, research methods. Chapter 4, results and discussion. This is actually the synonym for findings. And the final chapter, conclusion and suggestion. Now, what about research proposal? Research proposal is basically a proposal, a suggestion, a plan This is not something that is already conducted or finished or concluded, but this is something that you or we need to follow or to do in the future. So in the research proposal, we write about the issue. In the introduction, we write the methods, the ways of doing the research. We do not write the findings, but we write the expected results. In this way, we do not have the complete data sets, but we could already think about what kind of data we would expect to have. And when we are able to write this, we are able to communicate to our readers, in this case the reviewers of our proposals, that our research design is something that is feasible and something that is calculated, that is plausible. So in this part, we could also present our pilot study or our attempts to do a simple mini-scale study, if we have done that. But if we do not have that, we simply write down what we expect to have in our data collection and data analysis process or procedures. Finally, we strengthen our proposal by writing something about the significance of the research of the section. In the introduction, we underlined the importance of saying that we know what happened with the issue because we have read the previous research, but we identify that certain angle, local issue, or something that is presented in a previous research is outdated, for example. So we are certain that further investigation is needed. In the methods section, you would say that people would expect us to write down something about whether this research is going to be doable. So we provide simple and clear facts that the design of the investigation is well thought of. In the expected results section, we could present what we understand about how the research will go in order to answer the questions. We fundamentally show that in a certain amount of time it is plausible or feasible to be done. When we write about the significance of our research, we better write it in points here, because this is an easy way to get the reader's attention. We do not have to write a specific lengthy paragraph for each of the points that we made. So write in points in two areas: the practical contribution and the research contribution. So in the practical areas, we could say that these findings or these research results will be important for teaching, for improving cross-cultural communication, and then for research it would contribute to the longitudinal research or multidisciplinary research and similar information. I think 3 points each would be sufficient. We write in order to show clarity of information, and it is also shown in the way that we do our referencing. We could use APA, Chicago, and MLA referencing styles if we see this as more into author-based discussion. Meanwhile, there are also other templates that are more efficient, if I can say, that is based on the numerical information rather than the author-based information. And depending on which referencing style that you are using or your institution asks you to use, you need to follow the guidelines in order to give you stronger clearer and also seemingly cleaner presentation of a paper. And here is the reference that you could use if you want to know more details about the elements of a research paper and a proposal. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you all the best for your study.